Hey, good evening, everyone. How are you? Wave back at me so I know you're at least listening. How is how is the weather where you are? Hopefully that 2 degree person from last week, I forgot exactly who had 2 degrees. Hopefully it warmed up. We we had 95 today, so it's the extreme, that's for sure. But hopefully everyone's doing well and the weather's behaving itself wherever you might be. We got an exciting night tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so please take some notes. We got a video to show you from our team in the net, our European group that cannot get on these trainings because right now it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning in Europe. So this time doesn't work for them, but we want you to see what goes on in other areas of the world, even though you may not see them here. So we had him record a video and he just sent it over a couple hours ago. So I'm going to play that for you. But let me go to my slides. Okay, so for tonight, what we're going to talk about is one of the things we're going to cover is just thinking bigger, thinking outside your area. And I really want you to get accustomed with you never know. Okay. And we think we do know. We all think we do know. We all think we can cherry pick who's going to do it and who's not. We all think we can cherry pick who will like it and who won't. And the fact of the matter is you never know. Okay. That's just that. And that's, like I said, that's going to be the theme. But one of the things I'd like you to be thinking about is, especially with some of the things that we covered tonight, is our live opportunity presentation is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Okay, it's June 23rd. And April has posted all of that. If she hasn't, right after this Zoom, she will. I'll show it to you in a second. But, that is a wonderful opportunity to introduce people to what you're doing and what's available and what you have. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to do that. Also, we're going to talk about whether you're registered or not for Dallas. And every Sunday night, we're going to show who is and who isn't. Isn't that fun? That gets me excited, So,
Well,
obviously,
it's more about Bobby making plans to get there.
absolutely,
We have to
absolutely.
get it in motion.
And it's still what is it still 5 months away, 4 months away? Actually, the slide will show I think it's 136 days away. But the other thing is, are you registered for July 12th virtual? It's free. And if not, as soon as we're done tonight, please register for the virtual. The company twice a year kind of gives us an update on the year. And everything on July 12th, they're going to be talking about everything that's going to happen, from that point on. And it's important. And there's big announcements. A matter of fact, there's an announcement coming on July 1st. We have no idea what that might be, but and then we're going to introduce you to some of the folks in Europe with a video. But in the coming weeks, some of the training we're going to be talking about is if you're brand new in the business and you haven't officially launched your business, you need to do it. Okay. You have to launch your business. And what do I mean by that? You have to let the world know what you're doing and what you're excited about. That's all it is. And if you've been in the business, for a year, two, three, or longer, you should relaunch your business at least once a year. A lot of people do that around New Year's, but it doesn't matter when you do it. But if you haven't done it since New Year's, you should be making a plan to relaunch your business. Okay. So you're either launching or relaunching all the time. Now, the Momentum Academy in Dallas, okay, here's the details. Okay. I just put this up. So it's in Dallas at the Hilton Anatole, and it's October 23rd to the 25th, and we have 136 days. okay, before it comes up. So not 4.5 months actually is when it comes up. Okay. And with in April, why don't you just kind of take this slide for a minute and just talk about what you were talking about, the prepping?
Yeah, I think one of the things that is so important is that you plan for your business. This isn't something that you wait till last minute and go. I realize it is an expense for most people by the time we book hotels, we book travel and stuff. Um, but this is a part of doing your business, and we kind of need to budget it out. You know what you're making, whatever it is a month and stuff. And so if you need to put $50 or $100 aside for the next few weeks to make sure that you're there, it is so important. Bobby and I just don't miss events. We are at everything. That's where we get our fuel. That's where we get all this positive feedback from everybody that's being so successful. This is where we learn tricks and stuff. We learn so much at all these meetings, and then we come back with even more information to be able to share with our people. So, it's almost a shame. It's only twice a year that we meet in person like this. We really need more than that. I mean, it is a networking business, it is a people business. This is where, I can tell you, we have videos, we do videos every time for the whole event of everybody that's been there. And I've got stories for many, many years. I mean, there was a year, Wilhelmina, we were in New Orleans and we were in this old creepy house, and she was laying in this coffin in the living room, and we did a reel on it coming out of you got so many views and stuff. But you know what? Those are stories that we still tell, those fun memories. The cats outside that house. I could go on and on and on with all the creepy things that went on in this house being in New Orleans and all the fun we had and stuff. But those are the memories that we create, and they get even better, and they build our business. We just need to be in person. So again, it's only twice a year that we go. Super important that you get there. Now, I know Kenneth had I forget the name of the hotel we all booked, but you can reach out to me a little bit later. We got really good room rates. Hopefully there's some available. We did not stay, and thank you, Kenneth, for doing the homework on it. But he found a hotel that was right next to the conference center, but not one of the ones the company recommended. And we all made reservations there. So when we get off, make the commitment to buy your ticket to be able to go to Dallas, and register for the event, and then make your hotel room, and just start putting some money aside so that you can get your airfare has been really cheap. You've got two options to get into there. You've got Love Field and you've got DFW. So lots and lots of airlines to be, looking at, and maybe you just keep looking every, twice a week, 3 times a week, because I know we'll probably take Southwest into there. I think that's probably what we booked. But they run specials all the time. So if you've got a Southwest by you go into Love Field. DFW is a huge airport, but if you don't plan, it'll be here before you know it, and you will miss it. So super, super important to make plans for it. Bobby?
Right. And like I said, we appreciate everyone that's registered early. It's only, I don't know if it's 89 or $99. It's not a big deal, but start with registering, and then just take April's suggestions after that. So the people on the screen are already registered. Now, these are the shareables and the announcements for the opportunity presentation coming up in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So April, if she hasn't already done so, will put them in the messenger groups and the Facebook group. And, if you need it texted to yourself, just text one of us and we can do that. But they're posted. And just keep in mind, use the one with the phone number to people who ask for it. Don't put that up on social with the phone number. Just use this one over here on the left that says message me for Zoom ID number, and then you send them the ID number. Okay. Don't put this up, because that's when you get the spammers and hackers, and it could just be a pain in the butt. The one in the middle is what you send with the live link on it. Okay, where they click on that and they got the live link. So all of that is posted and on normal places. Okay, I don't know, April, did you post these or were they up or not? These two sheets. These are just
I
this
think
is
I posted the new packages.
okay.
I think I
This
did.
is
Yeah, last week
the
sometime.
two sheets that are available for the June incentive. Okay, and basically, you can become a member of the Fast Lane Club two ways, and that's, by personally enrolling two consultants that hit SC1 between April and June. Okay, and you get to earn, a pair of the custom LifeVantage Nike sneakers. Number two, enroll 400 in new sales. $400, it's not $400, 400 points in new sales. It could be all customer volume, it could be all consultant volume, or it could be a combination of both. Okay, and that gets you in the club. And the rest of the details are here. But these two packs on the bottom are fabulous deals. I mean, you're looking for $245. You get the MB, the GLP-1, you get the fat burn, you get the Pro Tandem NRF2, and a free bottle of NAD. And if you're not up on NAD, then you're not on social because it's everywhere. It's like we got the best NAD in the world, and it's just like for most of us, it's just another great product because we have so many of them. So these two packs are excellent for people to get started, whether it's a customer looking to get on our products or somebody looking to get involved in the business because this pack for 245 where my mouse is, it includes the consultant $50 fee. Okay, that is actually included with that selection of products. So it's a great deal. And again, if you need these sheets to keep track and stuff, April will get them posted in the group. But right now, I just want to take a minute and I want to tell you a little bit of a story with this. The person you're going to hear from, let me just click on it first and then I'll stop.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. So this is Tan, and you're going to hear from his wife, Shauki. This is a couple that we sponsored in Europe 7 years ago when we joined. Okay. We knew them from our previous business, and we have not seen them, and we have not seen them in person or been to Europe since February of 2020. We were in Cancun. They had won a trip. We had won a trip and whatever it was. We were in Cancun together. They had their team with them. We had a great time. And if you remember, in February of 2020, the talk of COVID had started. And just a few weeks later, everything started getting shut down. And Europe got shut down hard for a long time. They were not allowed to go outside. There was a $500 ticket if they went out outside of a certain time. Long story short, we have not seen them in 5.5 years. Okay. But I want you to see what's going on because before COVID, the 2 years before, we went to help them 10 times. Okay. A couple times corporate sent us, and the other 7 or 8 times we went on our own. And this is what is going on. Now, this is our team. There's a lot of teams in Europe. There's different places doing business, but this happens to be our team. And the reason I'm showing you this, they can't join us on Sunday nights, but I want you thinking bigger. I want you to think how exciting it could be to have a business growing in another country and you're not there, okay, and you're earning residual income or leveraged income every month off of it. I want you thinking about that a little bit, but this is short. It's only about 7 minutes, and this is Ton.
This is Ton, and you'll be seeing Shauki in a minute from the Netherlands. Bob and April asked us to give an impression of what we're doing here in Europe, or rather, wait a minute, what we're doing here with LifeVantage in the Netherlands. So, what has been going on here? I think it's nice to share some information here, and I will use a presentation for that because we work with the name Life Team Europe, as you can see here, and I have to do this one forward. This is what happened last Christmas. Every Christmas, we are inviting our team here, and things are growing. A lot has happened over the last year, and we all eat together, have a meeting about the opportunity of LifeVantage, and just having a great time. Giving you an impression here of our training center, where right now, once every month, we're giving a presentation for here in Batuverdorp. We are nearby Schiphol in Amsterdam.
Can you hear it now or no? Are you hearing it?
No.
We were fine, and then you changed something.
The last Christmas party, one of the training moves that we had done last year, which is very nice. We had a very nice dinner.
There's an echo.
Here we go to what happened in over the last month because of the launch of the Mind Body amazing product. So here you see the pre-launch, the first meeting we gave the 17th of March with our team, specialists in food supplements, and they told about the Mind Body that was to be introduced here around the 14th. Then we had the second presentation where Sjoukje also gave information about the results that the team already had on the products. And here then we go to the launch of the tour that corporate of LifeVantage, Kristen, Alexis, and Tyler gave. And on the 15th, I say by heart, they were here in the Van der Valk. And here you see, oh, sorry, I have to go one back. You see the great group that was there. Here you see a few other meetings on other parts in Europe. A lot was going on. It just was a great meeting. Then we went to Belgium, and Belgium here says Lancering België, which is Launch Belgium. And actually, the ones responsible for that are Griet and Bert. And here is Sjoukje when she came in at the place that they organized. I have to do something there, see how that.
Hello there.
There we go.
We're just entering the venue where we're going to do the launch of Belgium. This is a completely new country area for us and our organization. And the team here is very busy prepping. They're all very excited and also, of course, nervous because it's the first time. Of course, there is nice coffee and some snacks. We have a huge room here. This is just the outside sort of reception room where people can taste products, and we will over here the products doing a great job here. And they created very nice gift bags. We're going to do you call it a tumble, I guess, where people can earn or win products with LifeVantage on the bags. Everything looks amazing. So we're going into the room now. Quick second. It's still empty, of course. Still prepping. This is the room. And here we got Bert. Bert is prepping the presentation on the screen. And everything looks very good. So we're excited. And we're going to have a great meeting here for the first time in Belgium. Yay.
So that was an amazing meeting, and here we have some pictures of that meeting. You see the team over there, Griet giving presentation, Bert of course gave presentation, Sjoukje did, I did. And it just was amazing. What I heard is that they're going to do a smaller presentation live every 2 months. They just talked about that with the team, and then every 6 months, just like we're doing here in the Netherlands, they want to give a bigger presentation like we had on the 25th. Now, just to move forward, back to online, this coming Tuesday, somebody that Sjoukje and I introduced personally just a short time ago, She is specialized in skin. She is a skin specialist, and she's going to tell online about the true science Tuesday 10th. And just to give you an idea, because this is all about Bob and April asking us, just give us an idea about what's going on, so that people can send their people. I know you all in the United States have a lot of contacts also here in Europe, and I hope also in the Netherlands and in Belgium, and just send those people over, because we really like to welcome them, give them all the information that they need, and give them the training with the team that we have. And the Team Life Team Europe has a newsletter every other 2 months. We make a newsletter. This one is, of course, about the mind and body. The one of March and May are all both about the mind body product. And here I took this part of the newsletter just to show you what's happening. Here, of course, is the 10th of June, the online webinar with the true science and the lipid collagen. Then the 23rd, we will have an online webinar that will be about GLP-1 activation, which is all about the mind body, of course. And here we have the 12th of July live event, which will be in Batuverdorp in the local trainer center that I just showed you. Okay, so this is about the information we wanted to give you a short impression of what's going on in Europe, the Netherlands, and especially with Sjoukje and me. Thank you very much for being a part of this team of Bob and April, and really looking forward in being in contact with you personally, because of people or contacts that you can send over, so that we can help you build your team, build the Netherlands, build Europe, build all over the world.
How cool is that? I mean, think about that. It's when you think about, for over 7 years, they've been doing their own thing over there. And even through COVID, and COVID was tough on them. They were shut down for a few years. It was really difficult. But here's what I'd like you to think about. It's hard to get someone in Europe on one of our Zooms in the evening because of the 6-7 hour time difference, depending where they are. But it'd be easy to get them on a Zoom that's being done in their own time zone. And what I've always admired with the Dutch team there, and the Belgium team, Bert and Crete, the ones that are talking about, man, their English is so good. And I admire them with just the way they go about doing things. And that he's speaking to, even though Dutch is his language, he's speaking to us tonight in English. And I've always been very impressed with how they do that. So this is an opportunity. If you know people anywhere in Europe, there's stuff going on, a lot of stuff going on in Spain, in Belgium, in England, in the Netherlands, all the European countries. And the company's always looking to expand. So that was an invitation, a personal invitation from Tan and Sjoukje, that they'd love to host or help people that you have in Europe. And hopefully you'll take advantage of that when the opportunity arises. And, we can always put you directly in contact with them. But with that, let me stop the share. And April, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know there's a couple. I will open it up for anyone's got questions, but I know you had a couple things you wanted to do.
Yeah, Bobby wanted to talk about launching your business, and there's so many different ways to go about launching your business, and we kind of talk about it all the time. One of the ways that I've originally was doing, I had a coach for years and then kind of slacked off and have gone back to it. But Dee is new with us, probably 2.5, not quite 3 months, I think, at this point. She's already hit SC2 twice in a row, 2 months in a row. She was in Kansas City with us. But I want you to hear, and there's a second part to this, but I want you to hear what she's got going on with social. And I know that's an area, given primarily maybe because of our age and stuff, that we're not really comfortable. But there's so many times when you're posting things on social, and there's so many tools, and that's the second part of this I'll talk about. But there's so many eyes, and I don't want to spoil it. There's so many eyes on what you're doing that you don't know. So Dee, why don't you tell your story, what went on with your two new customers just the other day, and then we'll talk some more.
Hey guys, thanks. Yeah, well, first off, Bob, thanks for putting that up there. I did make Fastlane already. And
Awesome.
there's some really
That's
cool
right.
stuff in there that I didn't even know. So thank you. I just screenshotted it. But anyway, I do mostly all social media. And, I'm new at this, and I actually haven't even been calling people like I know April wants me to, but I just haven't done that yet. I have a plan to, but everything I've done has been social media. And, a lot of my stuff is just getting more and more and more views. And my warm market did reach out, but people that I haven't talked to, so Diane on Friday, I probably haven't talked to her in maybe 18 years since I got out of ski racing. And it was amazing. She's just like, what are you doing? And she messaged me on Messenger, and then I messaged back and forth, and then there was nothing, kind of silent. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm getting ghosted. And just when doing my reels every single day, or my, talking about the product, talking about me, my results, what, I'm doing, then she finally said, hey, what are you doing? You need to call me now. I'm like, all right, yay. And so both of them, I got one on Thursday, one on Friday. It's all from social media. And it's posting every day and being consistent. And being vulnerable. I mean, some of my videos are crazy. You guys can all go follow me. But some of the craziest videos, I get the most followers and the most comments, like by direct message, not always in the comments. So, might look like, hey, nobody's really acting, nobody's really doing anything, but they are. And so all of my business has been social media only.
That's great. Yeah. So, what happens so often, and I actually had it walking up, I played tennis Friday at a USTA match, and played against a lady I know her first name and I know of her, but she's been stalking me on Facebook, and she said, I love your reels and stuff. So this is where things don't fall through the cracks. People are watching what you're doing. Most times they don't comment, they don't even they don't let you know, but when they're ready, they get in Messenger and they say, hey, can I get that stuff, or how do I get that stuff, or whatever. So I just think it's a way that there's a huge audience out there that's untapped, that you need to take care of. We always talk about going through who in your phone and reconnecting with people that way, but you'll always be amazed at how many people are looking at you on Facebook. So the lady that I worked with as a coach for years, and I know like Jay and some of you know who she is, Marina, she's a little bit crazy. She's a little bit out there. I'll tell you that. She's a little bit scatterbrained all over the place, but super, super smart. And so she has a free course that's starting tomorrow night. And you know me, I don't really like to promote all this stuff, but she's been really good with giving us the tools on how to do these reels. And I mean, one of them is called a B-reel. And so, or B-roll, they call it. And so really all that is maybe if I took a video of my glass, and just swirled it around or something. And she shows you how to do this stuff. So it's not always your face. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with it. But it is a free course. So if you have the time, sign up for her course. It's The Real, REEL. So therealcashflow.com. You can do the VIP is $47, so no big expenses there. Or you can just do the free one. She usually will keep you about half an hour, 35 minutes. It's usually 8 o'clock East Coast time. But whether you do her course or not, and I'm not selling her course or anything, but whether you do her course or not, I think if you're looking to get into an untapped market that you don't even know exists because you have no idea who's watching stuff. These days they don't have to be your friend to be creeping on your page, and we just never know Facebook who's showing what and what's showing up and stuff. So it just always surprises me how people will come up and say, "Oh, I saw your travels to here, or you're doing this, or something about your granddaughter." And I'm thinking, we haven't even talked in forever. So, and those are just the ones I get feedback from because I happen to see them occasionally at a tennis match or something. What about those people that maybe I went to school with that I haven't seen, like Dee's friend, in 18 years? Or 20 years or 30 years or whatever. So, if you're thinking about doing that, don't do it for the likes, but you'll be surprised people reach out when they know what you have, because there's a little bit of rapport already. There's a little bit of trust because they know you from a previous, life, or maybe you just don't see them right now. But just another way to be able to launch and relaunch your business, and get more eyes on your business, which everything is social, whether it's Facebook or Instagram these days. So so sign up for that course. I think you'll like it. Like I said, she's very entertaining, I could promise you.
She's crazy as heck.
Yeah.
And that if you will be entertained, but you will learn a lot.
Yes.
She is.
Yeah.
She might be bipolar. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, she's a genius. She's just a genius. And if you can get past some of the zany craziness, you will learn a lot in a half hour. I can promise you. And you don't need to do the $47. There's part of it that's free. And April is in the VIP one. So if there's anything that needs to be shared, she could share it anyway. So anything else, April, before we open
I
it?
think Dee's got her hand raised.
Go ahead, Dee.
Yeah, so just to kind of go off of that, so we got into this reel, and she's given us stuff this whole week to do. And just to give you guys a concept, when you're in Instagram, you can look at your insights, right? Well, forever my insights were all my followers, but now that I'm following what she's asking us to do, a lot of my reels now are 75% non-followers and 25% followers. So she has a way and ability to get our reels outside of our warm market. And so I look at the insights all the time, and then I play back and forth. I'll just do what I typically have done and not all the writing and stuff. And I'm back to like 90% my followers and 10% non-followers. So it's really interesting based upon what she's having you do to get to people you don't know.
Yep. Great. Yep. Very good. Thank you.
Anything in the chat there, or do you want to just open it up?
Yeah, Noel just asked if Marina's teaching it herself. Yes, she is. She has some aides in the group to help, but she's teaching it.
May I ask a question? This is Debbie. Is it the real like REAL or REEL cash flow?
REEL.
All right, that's what I wrote down, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to ask.
Good question.
Thank you.
Anyone got any questions or comments? One thing I want to tell you about the just keeping in mind, and I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about your team and your future team. Make sure you just mention that we're in Europe in case you know anybody in Europe. Just make that part of your blurb, okay? When you're talking to someone, and I can tell you, Tan and Shalky, that training center was added on to their home. It was beautiful, and they just redid the whole thing. I think they just spent almost $1 million on their house, just redoing a lot of stuff. And we have known them for probably close to 30 years. They're as honest as the day is long, and you don't have to worry about anything with them whatsoever. They're just good people. And you'd be crazy not to take advantage of the offer that they just made. Okay. It's kind of give you an opportunity to employ someone without having to pay them. They're making their expertise available in a different time zone when there's a lot of different languages. And he speaks 4 or 5 languages, so does Shauki. Most of the Europeans do. So anyway, just one last thought on them. Anyone else got anything they want to share or questions? Or I got one more thing. if you saw the slide where it said you never know, you know, and I'm not going to give any details here, but I want to tell you some of the things that can happen when you never know. Kenneth recently recruited a doctor in Illinois. Okay. And long story short, she'd only been in the business about 4 weeks, ordered wholesale 4 or 5 different times, you know, probably $4 or $5,000 worth of stuff, spent half of the month that she's been involved in Africa. Okay, just went home to visit family and stuff in Africa, left her office stocked. When she came back, the stuff was all gone, sold. Long story short, she wanted to know if she put 50 people in a meeting in her office and another 50 people in a meeting 30 miles away, you know, could we like do a meeting? And this was a cold market person. In other words, it wasn't warm market. It was cold market. See, you never know. And if you and that's why I wanted you to see Europe, because you never know. So try not to prejudge or predetermine who will or who won't based on who they are, how you know them, or what the circumstances are. Just let people know what you got and that you're excited about it. That's and I don't care if they're super, super duper successful and have zillions of dollars, or if they just lost their business like 30 years ago when I lost mine, okay, and needed to find something else to do. Share what we have with everybody and let the dominoes fall where they do. And let's stop prejudging. And you'll see, if you talk to enough people, if you do the social stuff that Dee was talking about, and what Marina and, you know, what April was talking about, and what Marina is talking about this coming week, you put yourself in a position to let cool things happen. And we all want cool things to happen, all of us. Okay. But we have to do our part so that the cool stuff can happen. And that's just let people know what we're doing, whether it's on social, whether it's in our phone, whatever it is, we just got to let people know what we're doing and what's available. So, in closing, any last comments from anyone? I know we're a few minutes over. 2 weeks from tomorrow would be a wonderful time to launch or relaunch your business and fill up that Zoom. Okay. And there's two ways to do this. There's more than two ways, but if you have never launched your business, I think maybe you should do it. Okay. And we can coordinate doing an opportunity presentation just for you and your friends. Or you could take advantage of when you know there's going to be 50, 60, 80 people on, and plug them in to the one 2 weeks from now. But we don't mind doing one for your team. Okay. We especially if you're new and you've never done it before and you want to just do it for you and your team. Okay. So there's a lot of ways to do this. So that's some food for thought. Hopefully I'm pretty excited about all this stuff, man. There's just a lot of really good stuff going on right now. And we just want you to see and get the same things that we're starting to see and get. So with that, we're going to call it a night. I will get this trimmed up and posted so you can share with your team. But we'll see you. We will do next Sunday night. I know it's Father's Day, but that ain't Mother's Day, and we all know it. Okay. So we will do Father's Day. Okay. And of course it'd be recorded, but I always say, I don't know what the deal is with Father's Day. It really is all about Mother's Day. But anyway, we'll do it. And 2 weeks from tomorrow, we'll do our regular opportunity. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. God bless.
Thank you.
Happy Pentecost Sunday for those of you that celebrate that. We had a great day in church today with that one.